Okay, so today we have a special guest. We have my mother.
Hello.
Hi, Mom.
Hi.
So, and her name is Tami. How old is Mom?
65.
65. And?
Oh, just retired. Yeah.
She just retired, so she is...
the myth, the legend.
Here she is, and she is going to clear the air about some of the stuff that we've been talking about. So, I got some notes here. So my mom obviously remembers everything the best because she was the mother, and I was a child. So let's start with episode 1. Just kind of give a little recap on that. So what do you remember as far as I know? I had said that you had called him, but really it was his idea.
Oh no, that would never be my idea. I did not want you to go. Once he got remarried to Sandy, he kept pestering me about having you guys come and live with him. I don't think he would have wanted to take care of you. So now that he had a wife, I got the feeling the main motivation was to not pay support.
And he always told us that he tried to deny the support, but you can't deny support for one thing. It's the right of the child.
Right. But back then, I don't think they really chased you down or did anything about it unless you complained about it.
They do. They did back then. They don't now, though. They used to take you to jail for not paying your child support.
And I'd offer to buy you things. Like, do they need backpacks or anything for school? He'd say, no, they don't need anything. So, yeah, he never acted like he needed money from me until Sandy was in the picture more. And once she was in the picture more, then he kept after me, and then he had this lawyer drop these papers, and I
wonder why Sandy was about that.
And I met him at the courthouse, and I signed the papers. He said this was just for 1 year, and the reason I said
it was
okay,
1 year, not 6 months.
It was supposed to be 1 year, and the reason why I agreed to it is because he never was a hands-on dad before, and I thought, wow, he's having interest in his kids.
Right.
So this is great. Maybe they can get a closer relationship. And also, we were at the time living in a bad neighborhood, and you guys were going to a school and getting bullied.
Heather was getting beat up.
You were really unhappy. And we didn't live there long, but at the time we did. We moved in there it was the weekend that Travis was born. He was born in May of 89, and that's the weekend we moved in, and then you went to live with your dad October 89. So we
started in the middle, because I had to go to first grade. That was weird for us to start in the middle of the semester.
Yeah, it was right before Halloween. I remember well, anyway, so that's how that went down, and believe me, I hated that you were there, but I thought I did it totally selflessly for you guys. I thought it would be good. Yeah. So I agreed to it reluctantly. I didn't want to, but I was trying not to be selfish. I was trying not to be selfish and think what's good for them. They're really miserable at this inner city school, and they can be out there in the country and have a relationship with your dad, and that'd be good for you. And it's only for 1 year.
That was right when you started. You were with Leon, so I was all happy to be there. Right. Where was the house that had the prostitutes on the corner?
That was Donald Street.
Because I remember Leon's like yelling at him.
On
Get out of here. I was like, oh my gosh, what are prostitutes?
Yeah, that was a really bad neighborhood.
So that was it was at the duplex?
Yeah.
And there were cockroaches there. Do you remember that?
Yes, and we had a dog that would eat them.
Tipper. Right?
I think it was Spuds.
Oh, Spuds. I forgot about Spuds. And you would smash him with a hammer.
I
remember one time you were smashing one with a hammer, and I was like, what are you doing? And she's like, I'm killing a bug. I didn't know what cockroaches were. In fact, I didn't even know that we had cockroaches until later in life.
We had them at that house on...
Adam, in my first apartment.
No, the one that was haunted.
Oh my gosh, yeah, let's talk about
Near where I live now.
That green, it was on McKinley.
Yeah, we had cockroaches there too.
Really?
Yeah.
That's where Heather had the ants, I had thought. She had the ants.
All I know is it was haunted. It was creepy.
Heather.
Doors opening and shutting, and
I remember
footsteps upstairs, and...
Yeah. Oh yeah, they did have cockroaches there because I remember calling Grandpa one time.
Yes.
To come kill one.
Yeah.
Because we were terrified of it.
Yep.
That's where we would listen to Guns N' Roses and run around the house, right?
No, that was in River Park.
I can't.
We might have done it there too. We moved like
the one that had the counter, because he would get his little cowboy boots and put them on his hands.
Yeah, there was a counter there. Yeah.
Okay, it was that one.
Yeah, the reason we moved so much, I'm going to say this too, because you were talking about that before. It wasn't because we couldn't afford to live in a place. It's because our family kept growing. So because we kept having more kids, we kept needing more space. I mean, and part of it might have been financial.
I think it was a little financial.
Part of it might have been financial, but also we kept needing bigger places to live. So,
because the family. Here's something funny that my mom and Leon used to do all the time. So me, Heather, and Tony were the oldest, right? The 3 oldest ones, and the babies kept coming, and Leon would always talk about going to Disney World. We want to go to Disney World. It was like this promise. It's like I was 6, And like, and every time they're like, I have something to tell you guys. We're like, oh, we're going to Disney World. It was just another baby. And every time we never got to go. But you know what happened after everybody moved out? Eventually. Me, Heather, and Tony all moved out and went our separate ways, got married, and then she took all those kids to Disney World after promising us. But
that was when I was married to Keith, and we were much better off financially.
Yeah, I know, but still, that was a slap in the face. When we went to go live with my dad, that was his choice. He is the one that bugged my mom about it. He's the one that said 1 year. And I cried about it all the time.
I
know, and you were sad about it. I remember, and I was sad about it.
We both cried about it.
I was sad about it. Yeah. And she used to send us Valentines in the mail. Do you remember that?
You used to tell me that they didn't give them to you, and I would send you cards all the time.
We'd try to get to the mail before them.
With stickers and stuff?
Yeah, stickers. I was just talking about that because we had a sticker book.
Because I could only call you every Wednesday at a certain time, and I didn't have a phone for a while, so I had to take a bunch of quarters down to the gas station to
Trust me, I looked forward to the time with you, and we would, even on the weekends when we came over there, you'd help me with like school projects and stuff. Do you remember
We didn't have cell phones back then. You know how hard that was, having to get a bunch of quarters and drive down to the gas station to call you?
When he took the phone, this is episode 2, but when he took the phone away, that was based on you. Like, he didn't want us talking to you. I don't even know do you know what caused him to do that? I can't even remember what.
No, I know.
Because originally the phone was out, but we had to
Didn't you get another phone and
okay, so Leon taught me that.
Yeah.
So Leon's like, if you want to call your mom, all you have to do is go outside and go to this little box and unplug. I think he might even got out of the car and showed me how to do it. Like one time when you guys were dropping me off and they weren't there or something. But there's like a box outside. He's like, just unplug the main line and you can plug the line back. He taught me that. And I got a phone from Libby. My friend Libby gave me a phone because my friends knew thought my dad was like insane and they would help me. Gretchen gave me that TV to give to you that when you didn't have a TV that one time. Yeah, they would help me with stuff all the time. But she gave me a phone, and one time when I was at my mom's, so this is another thing my dad used to do. So when we would go to my mom's on the weekends, he would go through our room. He would go through our room and take stuff. He threw away Pinky. If there was anything on the floor, he'd throw it away.
Pinky?
And Heather had this little pink elephant named Pinky since she was a baby. And it was on the floor because it fell down the crack between the bed and the floor. Fell down there. And he threw it away. Can you believe that? And
cruel.
Here's another thing that he did. Took all my Kelly family stuff. Do you remember that? He was so jealous because me and my mom had this like thing, the Kelly family, that we did together, and he was so jealous about it that
it's normal for mothers and daughters to bond like that, though.
He went in and took all my tapes and all my Kelly family stuff, which is super hard to get, let me tell you, because they're not from here.
A lot of the stuff came from Europe.
Yeah. Or we had converted, and he took all my stuff, and I remember I was so upset because it was like my thing. I listened to him all the time. I'd just sit in my room and listen to Kelly family. All my tapes. I don't even remember the reasoning for it. And so I found one little tape. It was
jealous.
It was Over the Hump. And I remember like, he missed this tape because it was like it wasn't labeled or something. And I remember putting it in the boombox and turning it up really loud. Roses Are Red. I hope he heard it.
Yeah, he was one of Leon's favorite songs.
Yeah, he was a fucking jerk. I think that's how I found out about our Kelly family website and stuff too. And tried to take me to his lawyer.
I can't believe he took us to court about that.
I know, he didn't. He did. Well, because that was when I was trying to move in with you.
He brought it up in court.
Yeah.
And I thought, are you kidding me?
Like, seriously, Dad? That's like fucked up. Like, I remember he brought me into his lawyer's office. I had no idea what was even going on. It was...
Because we got music in this folk group from
Germany. All because I was like 16 or something at this time, and I was kind of going behind his back, trying to go live with my mom because I couldn't stand living there.
Yeah.
And we're like, and he found out about it, and he got like really like, and then he started like
jealous.
He went on the website. He started getting. I don't even know where he was getting his information or how he knew about. He must have found like because I had binders full of stuff you printed for me. You'd always print all this stuff for me. And he would like go through it and figured out that we had this website together. Like, who cares? She's my mom, and we're not doing anything nefarious.
We weren't selling stuff.
We weren't selling anything. No. We were just, I think you charged for shipping. It was a swap shop.
Yeah,
but sometimes we would charge for the shipping because it cost money to ship, and there wasn't very many American fans. So we would just...
That's one reason we liked them, because it was kind of cool because nobody here knew who they were. So it was like we discovered this band that nobody in America knows.
Exactly. And they had long hair, and they were brothers, and they were a big family.
And that's what I liked about it, because
we used to listen to their music and try to interpret
they had a big family, and they were all brothers and sisters with long hair.
Super talented.
So that captured my imagination, because I had a big family too.
Yeah, super nice voices.
So I thought, this is cool.
diverse. Yeah, they were just really original and different, and I always liked different stuff, and my mom was into them right away because we showed you that, and then we just got into it. Do you remember, like, okay, so I didn't tell this story about the Kelly family, but I figured we could talk about it. When we went to New York, so my mom, originally before my mom took me to Europe, the Kelly family, it was right after they did their infomercial and they were trying to break into America, they scheduled a festival, an Irish festival, because they're Irish, to perform at, and I was like, oh my God. And the closest, they had like 3 of them.
It was a Fleet Festival.
It was a Fleet Festival, Guinness Fleet, and it was a beer festival. But the closest one, they didn't have one in Chicago, it was New York. So my mom was like, okay, let's go, let's do this. And I had my 2 friends, Libby and Gretchen, who I was talking about. They were into the Kelly family too. We had our own website.
We tried to get them to go too.
And that's what I was going to say. So they were gonna come with us.
Yeah.
And my dad sabotaged that too.
Yep.
He called her mom and told her about Leon and all this stuff, and that they weren't safe to go over to my mom's house.
Leon had nothing to do with it.
I know.
Nothing.
I know. He was just trying to ruin ruin my friendships. Like, I don't understand him. He didn't want me to have friends. He didn't want me to have boyfriends. He didn't want me to spend time with my mom. Like, what kind of man is this? What kind of father is this?
I mean, it ended up being good that they didn't come because the Kellys canceled.
The Kelly family canceled at the last minute.
And we were already in New York.
Well, they canceled before that, but we thought maybe it was like right before. We already had the tickets and everything.
Yeah.
Because we flew there.
So we just went there.
We went anyway. It was quite the disappointment. We got lost in
Central
Park.
We were looking for the John Lennon Memorial.
We never did find it.
Never did find it.
We found this like little rundown place to eat though because we were hungry. I remember that.
Yeah.
We were in the it was starting to get dark. I'm like, Mom, I'm scared.
It said, don't be in Central Park after dark.
And there was a big Latino festival going on, and we could barely get down the street. Remember, we were trying to walk down the street, and it was just,
there was a parade or something.
It was like it was Latina or something.
We didn't really even end up doing that much there.
We went to that toy store. We did a lot of walking.
FAO Schwartz.
Oh, we went and saw the Statue of Liberty.
We went to Staten Island.
We went on the ferry.
Yeah, we went to the Staten Island ferry. So we did do that. Oh, and we went to someplace right by Staten Island there. Some deli, and we got
that's what I was talking about. The deli. That was when we got lost in Central Park. We went to this deli because we're like, well, while we're lost, let's eat something.
That was in Central Park. Oh, and the other...
No, that was leaving. We were trying to...
And the other thing I remember, and this came into play later when 9/11 happened, we were in the World Trade Centers.
Yeah, we were.
That's where so we stayed in Newark, New Jersey because it was across the river, and
there was a dump next to
and it was...
We were singing why. We're like, you look into a dump.
Yeah, that was kind of a joke, but anyway, it was in a very industrial area.
You guys have to know the Kelly family.
So we stayed in Newark, and we we took the train into New York because that was cheaper. I did the same thing when I went to Washington D.C. Yep. I stayed in one of the outlying towns and just took the train. So that's a better way to do it when you don't have a car and stuff. So when you take the train into New York, it stops at the World Trade Center, inside the World Trade Center, which the lower level was
kind
like
of
a mall.
Millennium Station.
So the lower, right, like a train station, even like in Chicago, it's like a mall. So you get off the train, the South Shore, and there's all these shops and stuff. That's how it was at the World Trade Center. The bottom level was like a mall. It was all these stores and restaurants and bank and stuff like that. And I remember going into one of the stores and asking them how to get to, what were we asking them to get to? I think the Staten Island ferry.
Probably. We didn't really have any that was the only thing
I think we wanted to go to the ferry, and we were asking them how to get there. And then when we left, that's when we went, we ate there and everything. But we were in the World Trade Center, and this was, what year was this? We did this, 99?
It was right before I was 16.
It was not in 1999.
It was right.
And then 2 years later, the Trade Center was gone.
And we have pictures of the Trade Center.
Yeah, and we were inside the Trade Center. And so, when that happened, and I saw that on the screen, I thought, oh my God, I was just there not that long ago.
Yeah, we can talk about that too, because I remember when that happened. Yeah. That was on the South Side, which we're going to get to that. But let's briefly touch on these other episodes. So, life at my dad's. My mom was super, I told my mom everything, so she knew everything that was going on.
Basically, your dad was kind of he was so different from me because he was kind of a slave driver, and he just wanted to make you all his little slaves to do all this work.
So I always say my mom was carefree.
And we were not like that. No. I was not like that.
She would let us eat. I remember thinking it was
I didn't think of my kids as being slaves to do all the work.
I remember when I came to visit. Yeah,
I wanted to have fun.
No, you never made us do anything.
We wanted to listen to music and play games.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. When we started coming to your house to visit after I lived with my dad, I remember this was it was like a highlight, but I remember You would let us eat cereal on the floor in your room because that's where your TV was while you were like folding laundry. I just remember this. Yeah. I was a kid. I was like, this is so cool. My mom's letting me eat my cereal in her room while I watch cartoons, which my dad you weren't allowed to eat in your room for one, anywhere but the table, and certainly not watch cartoons.
Well, that's why I liked having kids with Leon, because he was so much fun.
He was fun.
And he really was a good dad when he didn't have all these addiction problems.
Yeah.
And he really, the kids, he loved doing things with the kids more than me.
Yes, he did.
And I was the one that did most of the housework. So I did most of the cooking and cleaning and laundry and all that. So I was working too. So I was busy. And that's why when my kids say, I don't remember you when I was a kid, it's because I was always working.
Because she wasn't like the one wrestling around with us on the floor or anything like
that. But he was. He was like a big kid. So he went to wrestle around with the babies and
go to the park and take us places.
Yeah, and take you out to ride your bikes and take you to the movies. And he took you to the movies before, and I just stayed home.
Yeah, he took us to, me and Cody were talking about Great America. That was the last trip I went on with him.
In fact, shortly before he died, I think it was when we lived in that last house, I remember him taking, and I don't know if you were part of this, but I remember him taking all the kids to the movies. And I stayed home because I had this second job that was transcription.
I remember that, yeah.
So I said, no, I can't go. I have to do transcription. I'll just stay home.
And probably Hannah.
He didn't care if I went. He would just take all the kids.
That was like Great America. He just took all of us kids.
He didn't care.
And it was I remember that being a great day. Like, he didn't yell, he wasn't mad, it was just like a great day. And that's where we got to get the flock out of here, which we still I use to this day.
And the first time I went to see the Kelly family in Germany, it was over Thanksgiving.
And
he didn't even care. He wanted me to. He said, oh, don't worry, I can handle Thanksgiving dinner. I go, with my mom and dad and all the kids and everybody here, you're going to make Thanksgiving dinner? He goes, yeah, I can do it. Go ahead. Have fun. He liked me having fun. It made him happy to see me happy.
Yeah, he wasn't one of those that's like, you can't do anything fun.
He used to want me to speak German to him. He thought that was really cool. So he encouraged me to do those things. But, your dad would have never... I mean, he didn't want me to put up a Bon Jovi poster without losing his cool.
I know.
So, I mean, no.
He didn't let us either. We used to have Beatle collages on our wall. Right when we were really into the Beatles before the Kelly family, it was Beatles.
Yeah.
And that was another thing I bonded with my mom on that he didn't like, because she showed us the anthology, and that's how we even discovered.
Because they came up with that new record.
She was watching it. She's like, this is what I'm going to watch if you girls want to watch it. And so we did, and ended up, the rest is history, but he was super jealous of that too. And his mom was a big Beatles fan, so whatever. But he ripped down our collage one time when we were at my mom's. Came home and it was gone.
It's all jealousy.
All jealousy. Isn't that weird? Like, he never even tried to, ever tried, though, to be like...
Because he has a huge ego. He always has to be the center of everything. But he
was a terrible father.
He didn't understand that you have to earn that.
Yeah, you have to love your children. They're not just going to love you back.
Yeah.
You have to be kind to them. And children are children. He did not treat us like children. My mom treated us like children. He treated us like adults. And he would we were just so annoying.
I didn't make you come over and do all these chores
or lock us outside.
I would have never done that.
Yeah, I didn't even talk about having to feed the dog. That was a pain in the ass too. And they had big old buckets of water, and in the winter they'd get frozen solid. So we'd have to carry these big frozen solid buckets up to the house, which it was awful. I hated living there. But one thing I will give my dad about all that is he gave us really good work ethic. We're all really good workers and rule followers for the most part, all because my dad.
Yeah, but you didn't really get to be kids.
No, we didn't. It was like Michael Jackson. Have you seen my child? It was good all the way up until I left my mom's. My mom used to let me play outside and stuff.
And even though my parents, I grew up a really religious household, my parents weren't strict at all. Even though we were really religious, we had to go to church all the time and pray and do Bible study and all that stuff. But
apparently nobody's are.
But they were not strict. I mean, we could just run wild outside all day long.
That's how you let us. We were too.
As long as we came home at dinner time and got cleaned up and got ready for bed.
We were not allowed to do we weren't even allowed to go outside. I talk about that in the summer. And my mom and my dad
kind of roamed freely
because my dad was always trying to take down my mom for some reason, as if she didn't have enough problems. Or Leon, he was real jealous of Leon because we liked him.
Yeah,
and he was a father figure, so he was didn't want anything to do with us having anything to do with that. So he would so when you got the opportunity to do it back to him, with the penny thing, he my dad
I wanted to say something about the penny thing. So that's the only time I remember Leon ever doing anything like that.
No, that's it.
And you also got to understand when our generation, like Leon and me, and your dad too, when we were younger, corporal punishment was normal. It's not now. But we got spanked by our parents. We got spanked by the principal.
Switch.
We got spanked by our teachers. And
Do
it
you
was
know they
all perfectly acceptable.
They
it
had
was normal.
spanking. They still had spanking when I was in school.
Yeah. And I used to
kindergarten.
And when I was in kindergarten, I had to stand in the corner at school.
Yeah.
And sometimes we had to hold things. So that was not cruel and unusual. That was normal for people our age. When we were kids, we had to do that stuff.
It wasn't, I don't even know how it got mentioned.
But it's not really torture. I mean, it's not hurting
Oh,
anybody.
he was grasping for, he'd always ask us if something, like if we were getting hurt. I remember one time I was...
Because he was searching for
those little
some
things
reason.
that you like rock back and forth on the playground. They're like Donald Duck.
Yeah.
We went one time to the playground there and I like hit my crotch or something on it, like real hard coming up on it. And I remember telling my stepmom that like my crotch hurt because she's like, did something happen to you? I'm like, no. Like I didn't even know what she was talking about because I was a kid and no. But yeah, they were always trying to get us to say like something was happening in some way, but we were not abused by my mother at all or my stepfather.
Well, that's the problem with coaching little kids like that.
Yeah.
Because just because they're hurt doesn't mean someone's doing something to them.
Yeah, they always were trying to do that.
Anyway, enough about your dad.
Okay, let's move on to episode 3. So episode 3 is depressing too, isn't it? I do want to say this though. My dad is trying now. Like I think in his old age, how old is he? Like 68. If you're 65, he's 67.
He's 2 years older than me.
So in his age, he's realizing that he's alone, and me and my sister are his only children, and he's probably going to need someone to take care of him. It's going to be Heather, not me, though. But he's trying to make things right now, which good for you, Dad. But it takes a little bit more than what you're doing.
Too little, too late.
Yeah, it's too late. You kicked me.
And he would punish you, like if you did something real stupid, like not give you birthday presents, not get you a
Yes, I wanted to talk to Heather about that. Oh, I'm glad you're bringing that up because this is my...
Because I was just appalled. Like I can't even imagine doing that to my own child, no matter what they did.
Yes.
And you would do something really dumb.
Minor. Like
really minor.
Eat a banana after school. Like this is serious.
Something really stupid, and then he would like just totally cancel your birthday because of it.
Yeah, he did that twice to me. My 13th birthday and my 15th birthday. And do you know what else he did?
Well, we never canceled any birthdays.
And it was my birthday. It would come, and little kids get excited about their birthday, and he would just act like it wasn't even. It was just another day. Yeah, my dad. He's just like...
Was he kidding?
I brought a cake up there one time because my cousin Tyler's birthday is like the day after mine on the 6th. And he was up at the lake. Tyler and Trey had their thing up there. And I brought us a cake that said, "Happy birthday, Amy and Tyler." And my dad's like, "Whose birthday is it?" Like, I don't know.
He really didn't know it was your birthday?
Really didn't know. I said, I don't know.
We used to celebrate it on the 4th of July.
Yeah.
Because we'd go to your grandma's house to watch fireworks. Because she lived on the hill. And we could watch them from there. And we would celebrate, and she'd have like cake for your birthday.
Yep.
There's no way he forgot when your birthday is.
Oh, he acted like he did.
It's a good thing he didn't have any more kids.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he's the kind of person that should never be married and never have kids. I mean, it's too late on the kid thing, but should never be married, for sure.
I don't think he'll ever get married again.
But, I knew him from high school, and I liked him a lot because he was very outgoing, and I was very shy in high school. So I felt like he was perfect for me because he took some of that shyness away from me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you guys are not a good match.
But no.
I cannot imagine you guys even together. You're so different from each other. I can't even believe it. That he married you because or asked you to marry him because of the chick Sally or whatever he was dating before you. Mm-hmm. Like he asked her first. Man, I'm probably telling this story way wrong, but like he asked you to marry him out of spite towards her or for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah, he lied to her. She thought they were still dating, and then she came to his house one night, and we were sitting there in his car in the alley talking, and she came to drop off his favorite candy, Reese's or something.
Peanut M&Ms.
Yeah. She came to drop off his favorite candy, and I thought, why is she here? He told me he had broke up with her. They dated all through high school.
Oh yeah, my dad lies a lot.
And she was really ugly too. I just want to say that. At the time, she's not ugly now, but back then she was.
You said she's not
ugly
now.
Oh, hey. Sorry, Sally.
Sally.
She was valedictorian in my class. I knew her, but she was real masculine and real. She was
What the hell?
She was not pretty at all.
That's weird.
She was a biker. She rode a motorcycle and was like real butch.
That doesn't seem like something my dad.
She wasn't when she got older. When she got married.
Yeah, but when he was dating her, she was. What were you attracted to there, Daddy?
Yeah, I know. It was weird.
You were way better looking. I mean, Sandy was good looking too.
But he told me he broke up with her, and I just believed him. And we got engaged, and I had the engagement ring on.
Why'd she just
she stopped by with his favorite candy, and she thought they were still dating. So he told her some other different story and told me that he had broke up with her. And then all of a sudden we're confronted. And we were like yelling at each other. And I remember saying, he's marrying me. I had the ring.
And what does my dad say? Is that the first time he ever got caught?
Probably nothing. He was probably mortified. He probably didn't know what to say. He just let us fight it out. And that should have been my first red flag. And I should have known I'm not marrying this guy.
Yeah, he's a cheater.
I am not marrying this guy. And then I was in denial for 8 years.
You were married to him for 8 years? Mm-hmm. Well, you stuck it out, Mommy.
Until Paula's boyfriend Henry called me and said, hey, you know, Paula and Rick went to Chicago together for this.
Paula. I remember Paula because she bought me she took me
Paula was my friend, I thought.
Yeah, this is why you can't be friends with
We were in the car club
This is
together.
why you can't be friends with women.
No.
They take your man.
No. We were in the car club together. Henry was in this car club we joined. So we were in this car club because we had, you know, a souped up car. And
my dad just can't control himself.
No. Yeah, her boyfriend called me. Henry called me. And I remember I was there at the house with you girls, and he was in Chicago for this car. He called me and ratted him out. Oh, I was so mad. Do you know what I did? She was a dental assistant of some dentist on Mishawaka Avenue in River Park. So I called. Of course, they were closed. It was a weekend. So I left a long voicemail on this dentist's machine.
That sounds like something I would do.
About how she was
a cheating whore.
Yeah, a cheating whore. Yeah. I was married to him and living together.
He lied to Sandy. Like, here's the thing.
No, I went to class. Because I was going to IU doing paralegal studies at night. And I went to class and I forgot my book. So I went back to get my book, and Sandy's there in my house. And we were married then, living together.
With Justin, right?
I don't remember Justin.
In Sandy's defense, because I love Sandy. In Sandy's defense,
and I thought, she cheating on?
She was lied to too.
We were still married and living together.
He told Sandy that you guys were separated and that you were crazy.
No, we weren't separated yet.
Because I got mixed stories, trust me, because Sandy would try to be like, defend herself to me.
And I was like, how can this person be a good person if she's like going behind my back and she knows that he's married? Why is she doing this?
She didn't know. He lied about that. Sandy's too.
Yeah, but if
Sandy would never date a guy that was cheating on his wife.
If you're dating someone that is cheating on you, they will cheat on you too.
My dad keep getting all these ladies. That's what I want to know.
I don't know either. I mean, well, you got to admit though, back when he was 20, when we got engaged, he had hair then.
If you're going to say he was attractive, I'm not agreeing with
No,
that.
I'm not saying he was attractive, but he did have hair. He wasn't as bad as he got later on.
I look just like my dad. I notice that in my podcast when I look at myself when I'm
watching. I mean, I don't think he's ugly.
He looks more feminine.
Yeah, he has kind of a girly mouth.
Which is just fine, because I got
like
that.
A little rosebud
I got his nose, his eyes, his mouth, his
Which is why he always
hands.
had a mustache. I never saw him with a mustache when we were married. Ever. Never.
I hated it. That's why I hate mustaches to this day, because we used to have to kiss him goodnight and call him daddy. Like every night. I mean, the daddy thing we had to do anyway, but we had to kiss him goodnight every night. And I hated it because it was weird.
Yeah, but didn't you want to call him daddy if he was your dad?
No, not when I got older. Because it was embarrassing. I called my mom mommy too.
Call my mom mommy?
Yeah, but daddy is kind of an endearing.
Yeah.
And it was weird to call him daddy. I'm like, I don't want to call you daddy. I'm going to call you asshole. Rick. Man, if my dad ever finds these videos, he's going to be like, oh my God, I never knew. He does know. He knows how I feel anyway.
Anyway, I don't want to talk about him anymore.
You went back to him. So episode 3 was just about times at your house when I was a kid. And do you remember us performing I keep asking, performing the Michael Jackson songs for you and Leanne?
I remember you used to teach your brothers and sisters.
Brothers. It was just the boys.
Your brothers, because the girls were too little. Or maybe they weren't born yet.
Maybe,
yeah.
Maybe Hannah was.
Yeah, I used to teach them songs and dances and stuff. And
well, they'd always want to be down there, and I just wanted to dance, like, to Michael Jackson.
You were really, what's the right word for it? You like to be in charge of things and orchestrate things, you know?
Because I'm a leader. We'd
go out to dinner, and you'd babysit, and we'd come home, and all our furniture would be rearranged. And we'd be like, what did you do? I rearranged all the furniture.
Because I like to organize.
I'm like, okay.
I like to organize and clean. I like to do those things. So, like, once I get started, I can't stop.
I know, but nobody else did anything like that. Yeah.
I know Sandy knows that about me too. And she was like, well, you just organize it. Like I'd ask if there's something I can do. She'd be like, well, you can just organize this. I was like, okay. Because I liked that.
I don't think we even asked you. You just did it.
It's a part of my OCD because I do have it, but just not on the same level as my father. I like to organize. Not so much my own life, but other aspects of my life. Other people's stuff.
I used to look forward to you guys coming every other weekend so much because I miss you so bad.
We missed you too.
Lynn and I both would cry about it all the time.
I get so excited about it.
And we'd always try to plan something as a family that we could all do together. And we were pretty poor, so we didn't always have money to do a lot of...
You took us to almost all the Disney movies. You took us to Little Mermaid,
Disney
Lion
movies.
King. And Lion King was the first Disney movie that had like a death. I remember that because we were all crying in the movie theater. We went to Mammoth Cave. That was a good time. We had no family vacations with my dad, but my mom, who was poor and had all these kids, took us on vacations.
Yeah, we'd like scrape every dollar together and then we'd go.
You took us to Indiana Beach.
Stay in a tent or in a cabin or.
Do you remember taking us to Indiana Beach? Me, Heather, and Tony. Mm-hmm. I don't know where the boys were. Maybe they stayed with Grandma and Grandpa. But we were young, because I remember we were like in this...
No, they were there, because I remember we had to put pull-ups on the boys, because they were wet.
I don't remember them being there.
Pants.
I don't remember them. I remember...
Lucas and Travis were there, I know.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, because I remember them wearing pull-ups.
Are you sure that was... Lucas, I thought he was saying he was there too, but I think it was a different time.
No, they were there. That was when we kept in the tent at Indiana Beach.
On the way back from Mammoth Cave. It was the same vacation. You guys must have got a good tax return that year. The Mammoth Cave was fun. That was a good time. I always talk about taking my kids there, and I never did. I've never gone... Do you know I've never taken my kids on a family vacation?
Cody was there, too, because he was 3.
Money.
Cody was 3, and we had a picture of him having a temper tantrum on the steps.
Oh, yeah.
So the boys were there.
Did we go? We went...
I think Hannah was a baby,
there was something else,
stayed with my mom.
There was something else we did,
Hannah
too. We went to visit Abe Lincoln's, birthplace.
That's
where Cody threw the fit, on the stairs.
Yeah, Lincoln, yeah. There was like a hot springs there, and there was like a log cabin, and we saw a movie.
Yep, that was quite the experience. We went 3 different places on one trip.
Didn't we go to the Indiana?
And we all stayed.
Did we go to?
You're right. They all were there because we stayed in the hotel room, one room. Travis was sick from the exhaust fumes from the dragon wagon.
We went to the Indianapolis Zoo the first day.
Okay.
You don't remember that?
Mm-mm. I remember going to the zoo with like Grandma and Grandpa, and a bird pooped on Heather. I remember that.
We packed sandwiches, and it was like sprinkling rain outside, but we still went to the zoo. Maybe that was when Keith and I took her to Mammoth Cave. That might have been a different time.
Okay. No, I don't. Yeah.
But you remember when we had those fumes and Travis got sick.
in the dragon wagon, Travis got sick. It was slept.
We were supposed to camp that night, and instead we went to Howard Johnson.
And we stayed in one room.
Everyone slept on the floor.
And we had to have half of... No, not everybody.
The boys.
No. Lucas and... Well, maybe Lucas.
Travis did because he was sick. He slept by the toilet.
Cody had a cot or something. And we all had to... you only told me you had 3 kids with you or something.
Yeah.
And we had... So 3 of us had to wait in the car and then, until you guys all are in there because you didn't want them to see us.
We always had to lie, yeah.
And then we had... Yeah, I was telling them about that.
We had too many kids.
We did that at the drive-in, too. We sneak people in.
We only have 2 kids. We only have 3 kids and then income 5. Yeah.
Yeah, we had to wait in the car or something until everybody was in and then wait 10 minutes and then we got to go there. But we all slept in the same room. Me and Heather had our own
We went and got you guys bowls and cereal and milk the next morning because they had free breakfast, but only for 2 people.
Yeah, that's usually how it goes. They'd be like, where did all these
kids
come
from? So
Lynn and
I went and we had the free breakfast buffet and you guys had to have cereal in the room.
No, we were kids. We didn't care. I don't remember caring. I remember we got a bed, so that's all that mattered. And I think Tony and Cody had cots. So yeah, so that was life growing up, visiting my mother. It was good times. And then obviously the final episode was the burial, which was episode 4, which was the end of the first half of season 1, which is when Leon, we found out about all that. So do you want to talk about any of that quickly? Yeah, talk about it. There were some things you wanted to set straight, I think. Because we had some of the facts confused.
I don't know where to start. I hate talking about that.
I know. I hate talking about it too, but it's part of the story. At least as long as we're not dwelling and making it depressing.
I mean, he backslid. Obviously he got his paycheck and he went out and he blew it on drugs. And
so I guess I did have a question as far as the drinking went. Because that's kind of where he started with drinking. Was that a problem as much as So I don't know. I don't really remember how it all came to fruition.
The drinking, he never did at home.
No.
But he would always pick a fight with me and then go down to the bar and hang out with his friends or go there after work.
And then come home in a bad mood.
And come home real late Yeah, so he
The only time he was violent.
he did often, he did some, I shouldn't say often, but he did sometimes come home kind of violent after he'd been at the bar.
But that was when
drinking.
that was before.
But there was not the problem with the money disappearing,
right? Because
or him being gone for days.
He'd be able to have his check and go to the bar.
Yeah.
So
it was
like darts. I remember that.
Yeah, it wasn't money problems. It was mainly just binge drinking and being.
So that was his first vice. So was that like, when did that start, or did it? Oh, I know you guys met at a bar, but.
I mean, he always drank and smoked, and I
know he smoked.
He kept hanging out with his childhood friends who were all a bunch of losers.
Pat and
they were all a bunch of drunks, and here's the thing: Leon didn't really have a close family because they were a business, and even Billy told me, after he died, he said our family isn't normal. They run it like a business, so he never felt that family connection. Because he was always an employee of his parents.
Well, and he told us some childhood stories.
I mean, he cleaned bars when he was like 10.
Yeah, and his dad abandoned him, right? Kind of.
Yeah,
I remember
he went and married the nurse that took care of him when he was in the hospital.
So his dad kind of abandoned him.
Left his mother.
And his mom was kind of violent, and was alcoholic.
Yeah.
I remember
his mom and stepdad were both alcoholics.
She like stepped on his head or something. He told me this story about...
Yeah, they came home drunk one night and she stomped on his head and he had burst blood vessels in his eye his whole life.
Yeah.
But they didn't drink. I mean, by the time I met him, and he was 27 years old, and they didn't drink anymore at that point. They were old.
Yeah, so, I don't remember. I mean, I just remember
when they were young,
sharing those stories.
They met at the VFW because he was a veteran, and they met in a bar. They met in a bar basically. She was a waitress, like a cocktail waitress. And
he was very close with his mom.
Yeah,
he loved his mom.
Yeah. So anyway, he always had the drinking problem, and a lot of it was his friends because those were like family to him, but they weren't good friends to have. They were bad influence on him.
So I'm assuming.
And then once he met me, he'd always say, "I'm from the wrong side of the tracks."
Yeah, Lucas.
He always felt like I was better than him because I had a really good childhood, and I always want to say, I always say this. It was like Ozzie and Harriet, but I've never seen Ozzie and Harriet in my life, so I don't know what it's like. But like this ideal middle-class family. But to be honest, I think my upbringing was better than anything I've ever seen on TV.
Oh, yeah.
It was better than that. If you can imagine that.
I know. I'm jealous.
I mean, that's how good it was. Although I was very sheltered and naive, so when I became an adult, that was kind of a problem.
Right. That's what Lucas was touching on in his sibling session. He was talking about how... he just thinks that you're a little naive about how to handle those situations.
I was. Yeah. I'd never been around drinkers or smokers, or my parents didn't swear. They didn't gamble. They didn't do anything bad.
Right.
And we spent a lot of time in church, so we were around people all the time that didn't do those things. So to me, it was like, it was this foreign thing I didn't know how to deal with.
Right.
I thought it was just, in my mind, I thought, oh yeah, my parents don't know what they're talking about. This is just fun stuff.
Right.
It'll be fun. But you have no idea because you've never experienced what that can do, what alcohol can do, what drugs can do.
Right.
All that stuff. Abuse, which we were never abused, ever. Yeah. I mean, our parents spanked us sometimes, but everybody spanked us.
That's not abuse.
But we weren't abused.
That's why I say I was never abused.
I got
spankings, but I never got abused. Yeah. But like I said, the only abuse that ever occurred was when my dad kicked me.
So he did have those issues. He was a very addictive personality. He had to have his coffee, he had to have his cigarettes. He was kind of weak. He liked to drink. And I did know that he had dabbled in drugs because he had told me when he was in the service he did. And when we were dating, we went to this bar. It was over by Farmer's Market. I don't even know what the name of it was, but there was nobody in there except the bartender. He knew the guy, and he asked him if he wanted to do some cocaine, and he started getting it out. And I said, wait, what's going on here? No.
So the bartender asked Leon?
Yeah.
Oh.
There was nobody.
So that's the situation.
It was during the day.
That was the situation I was telling you about, or something.
And it was a bartender that asked him, and he said, "Yeah, sure." And I said, "No, wait a minute. This is not acceptable to me."
But you're like, "Whoa,
you cannot do this. I don't want any part of this. I don't want you doing this." He goes, "Oh, okay." Because we were just starting to date. We didn't know each other super well yet.
Yeah, that seems like an odd thing just to be like, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so he didn't do it. So that was the one time. And then another time was when I was pregnant with Lucas. He invited all his loser friends over to watch a football game. And it might have been Notre Dame. Probably was.
Probably. He was a big
Because they came to our house before and totally trashed it when we lived on McKinley. But anyway, his stupid drunk friends all came over. And they were watching the game. And
stupid drunk
and I was like, 9 months pregnant, so I wasn't drinking.
With Travis?
Anything. No, it was Lucas.
Oh, you said it was before Lucas. Okay.
Yeah. And so that was when we had just moved to River Park, because he was born when we lived there in River Park.
Right.
So then there were several things that happened there. Somebody disappeared into our bedroom. So I had to chase one of his friends out of our room.
What was he doing in there?
He was in there with his girlfriend.
Oh, hell no.
Then I discovered they were doing lines of coke on my coffee table, and I went ballistic.
This is the story you told.
And that's what I said. And then I said, everybody out. Get out of here right now. This isn't happening. Get out of here.
Yeah.
They did not respect our house. Even when we had them over before at our other house, they didn't respect it. I mean, they would like put cigarettes out on the carpet and spill beer all over. Then they got in some big old drunken fight in the backyard. I mean, it was it was awful. Anytime his friends came over, it was awful. So, but
he got rid of those friends.
But it wasn't Leon that was doing it. So both times.
Just think though, he probably would have been doing it if
maybe. but you know, but
he wanted to be a better person.
But remember, I was pregnant when we got married, so we hadn't been together that long at this point. Not even a year. We'd been together, you know, maybe 6 months.
It just seems like an odd thing to like just automatically assume that that's okay.
Yeah, but that was the only 2 times I have ever seen him be associated with any kind of drugs
yeah, that was a shock
in my presence.
A shock for me too, because my dad did not drink or smoke or any of that, and I was actually knew nothing about drugs either. I mean,
so I mean, and maybe he was going to the bar and doing drugs, and I didn't know about it. Maybe, but
I mean, it had to have started. You don't just go straight to crack.
What started it was in 1996. And this was right before I got pregnant.
Abby was
right
born.
Before I got pregnant with Abby.
So my timeline was wrong on this.
Because Abby was born in 97. So it was, I think, right before I got pregnant with her. Because I remember when I found out I was pregnant, it was depressing to me because I knew he was an addict.
Yeah.
So it was in 96. He just suddenly stopped. He just didn't come home. Wouldn't talk to me. Didn't know where he was.
That was when you came and picked us up and we're like...
And remember, we didn't have cell phones back then. I might not even had a phone in the house. I think I did at the time. But I didn't know, you know, he was working for his parents. So I would go and I would sit outside his mom's house waiting for him to get off of work, hoping he'd talk to me. He wouldn't talk to me. So I wrote a note and I left it with her to give to him. You know, I mean, it was like he wouldn't talk to me. He just totally avoided me.
So it seems like he probably...
I heard he was staying in a tent in a friend's yard or something. I don't even know.
So it's probably then that he started smoking crack.
That's when he was starting to do the crack, and I didn't know it was drugs. I had no idea. I thought he was mad at me about something.
Right. No, I remember this happening because...
he was ashamed of himself. He wouldn't even talk to me.
You weren't even sure. We didn't even know. Like, because when you went to come pick me up, you were late that day, and you were all upset, and you didn't know where he was. He just didn't come home, and he didn't want to talk to you, and we thought that was really weird.
You're renting it from a rental place, and we just couldn't afford to pay it. So they came and broke into our house when we were at work and took all our furniture.
Yeah, but he would pawn it too.
He didn't pawn that. He pawned the TV movie camera that we were renting. He bought me a ring with 7 diamonds for all my kids, and he pawned that. Never got it back. He pawned a van that a company that he was working for when he wasn't working for his dad. And he got this van real cheap. It was like $1,000 or whatever. And he had this van, and he pawned it and just let them keep it. Never. And
you had to go pick it up. I remember.
He never got it out. He never.
He must have done it more than once because there was another time that he pawned the van and you had to go get it.
No, that was his car.
Ah. See, I can't
remember. He did the car before too.
All for crack money.
Yeah, all for crack money. So when you're an addict, you're desperate.
He was desperate. He would do anything, and just like that Christmas.
But I didn't have any clue there was anything going on with money.
How did you find out about it?
He didn't come home.
Well, I know, but
I didn't know where he was. I didn't know what was going on. I was beside myself because I didn't know how to fix it. Because he wouldn't talk to me. I didn't know what it was. I had no idea it was drugs. It didn't even cross my mind.
Right.
So I thought, oh, he's really mad at me about something. Maybe there's somebody else, or maybe it's
that's where my mind went.
And he wasn't giving me any money or anything. And this went on for
highly unlikely.
Yeah, it went on for a couple of weeks, and it was during the boy's birthday because I remember he stopped and dropped off like a PlayStation for them for their birthday, but he never gave me any money for anything else. He did do that.
I wonder how I got that. He must have
stole it, probably.
So did
he sold drugs?
I'm assuming he had to have admitted it to you at some point.
Yeah. So one day, and this was he was gone for a couple of weeks. It seemed like forever, but it was probably not more than.
So he was just gone and not talking to you and not telling you anything.
Right.
That's fucked up.
He was still working for his mom and dad, but he wasn't talking to his kids. He wasn't talking to me.
That's so weird.
He wasn't telling me where he was. That. He was just on this big drug binge or something. I don't know.
He must have like I said, you don't just start with crack. So I'm assuming he was probably doing coke at the
Well,
bar.
he had done coke before in the past, just from the things that
So
had
he
happened.
probably did it at the bar, just not around you.
Yeah,
Somebody offered him
he
crack.
knew offered him crack, and he couldn't stop.
Yeah, and that's probably the same.
Like the phone would ring and I'd answer it, and people would hang up.
And they'd say weird shit. Like, remember the yellow cab thing? Do you remember that? It's like somebody's called and left a code or something about a yellow cab, ABC something, yellow cab. I don't know. And you were like trying to figure it out, and we couldn't figure it out anyway.
He was really careful about trying to keep it away from me and the kids, but there were times when things slipped through.
I mean, when you don't show up and you're not there for your kids, then they kind of notice.
How I found out was all of a sudden he came home just unexpectedly. One day he just showed up, and he was acting real weird and paranoid. He was running around, looking through all the windows, peeking out all the windows, sitting in the living room.
Because crack makes you paranoid.
Real hyper, looking out all the windows. And he said, "You got to take me to the emergency room. You got to take me to the hospital. You got to take me to the hospital right now." And I kept going, "Why? What's wrong with you?"
Crack's cheap, but...
And he wouldn't tell me what was wrong with him.
When you spend $1,000.
So I was freaking out because I'm like, okay, you're acting really weird. What the heck is wrong with you? And he wouldn't tell me.
He thought like somebody was after him or something.
Yeah,
he did that one time when we were there.
Yeah, he thought people were after him. So then finally, I don't know how long we talked like that until I got it out of him, and that's when he said that he had a drug problem.
He told you. So
yeah, he said, "I have a drug problem. It's cocaine, and I have to get to the hospital because I feel like I'm going to die."
He told you it was cocaine. He didn't tell you it was crack.
I don't think he said. I don't remember him saying crack.
Nobody ever wants to say crack, do they?
I think eventually he did when we were at the hospital, but yeah,
well,
it did no good. I did. I took him to the hospital, and I remember the doctor pulling me aside and saying, "Your insurance doesn't pay for a psychological addiction. This is not a physical addiction. It's a psychological addiction.
Why would they say
and
that?
Your insurance will not pay anything. So in order for him to get inpatient care, you would have to pay out of pocket." I said, "Well, I can't do that. I don't have money for that."
My mom had really good insurance.
So I did, but back then they didn't pay for that. They thought it was just psychological.
Oh my
so
God,
they
it's
would
like a
help you.
snowstorm out.
But back then
they say it's a disease.
they
Same thing with
considered it a
overeating.
psychological addiction, so they won't help you.
It is a psychological
unless it's
addiction.
physical, like heroin.
I think all drugs are psychological addictions, right?
And they're all physical too, I think.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
you have physical.
just don't do them.
Yeah.
Not even once.
Don't do drugs.
So let's move past that.
Yeah.
So
So that's when I found out about it, and from then on it was a struggle.
yeah.
And since he told me about it and he came back home, he was actively trying to get help, so he went to a whole bunch of different treatment plans. He went to at least 4 different ones. We got really involved in church because he thought hanging around with different people would help him, and it did. Sometimes it would help for a few months, but then it'd fall off the wagon.
Do you remember when he did the taking all Travis's Ritalin?
He just woke me up in the middle of the night one night. And he said that he was going to quit his job and I should quit my job, and we were going to travel around the country and
lay hands on
and
people.
be evangelists. And he was going to preach.
He told us that. He told me and Heather.
And I said, "What?"
He said, "I'm going to quit smoking crack." Because we knew about it this time and disappointed in him, you know. And he was like, "I'm going to change." He wrote us all these letters, these suicide letters. Tell about
the first thing he told me when he woke me up was that he talked to Abraham and Moses. So
he was smoking crack that night.
So I thought, what on earth is he on? What is he talking about? He said, "Yeah, I tried to kill myself. I took a whole bottle of Ritalin."
That was devastating. But he wrote us all letters.
But I didn't die. Instead, I had visions, and I talked to Abraham, and I talked to Moses, and they told me that I need to preach.
He smoked crack that night.
I need to preach the gospel, and this is what we're going to do. And I remember I wanted him to get better.
He said he
but
had visions,
seriously?
Visions of us laying hands on people.
And I remember saying to him, "I can't do that. I have a really good job. I have all the insurances and everything on my whole family."
I hated church. I used to make fake puke so I could stay home.
I said, I cannot do this. I cannot quit my job and lose all my insurance for my kids. That's how I found out about his issues. And for the next 4 years, it was hell on earth.
Yeah, it was.
Because he would have periods of time when he was good.
And you couldn't trust him.
Maybe for a month or two.
Track.
I never knew. Well, and he signed a paper at his work telling them I had permission to pick it up every Friday at 10:30. So I got permission from my boss to take my lunch early every other Friday.
But if you're even a little bit late...
No, it wasn't that. It was sometimes they wouldn't have any work, and he would get off. He'd go in and then get off, and he'd just take his check and leave.
Because it's his check.
They couldn't keep him from getting his own check.
You should have made him sign something that he couldn't get it, or have it directly deposited into your bank. Why didn't you do that?
I don't think they offered it back then.
Oh, it was old school.
I would go take it directly to the bank and deposit it and sign his name. I did that.
And I'm assuming he had no access to the account.
No, I had to take it away. He did until he started stealing money out of it. Then I had to start hiding my debit card, hiding my checkbook, hiding my wallet, and I couldn't put it under my mattress. One time I did, and he snuck and got it out.
He found it. He stole her keys and went to her office and stole money from her office.
Yeah.
And you had to lie about that. So
he actually did that twice.
You didn't get fired because they would probably have fired you.
I just acted like I didn't know what they were talking about.
Oh, I thought you said that you had borrowed it and paid it back.
No, I never said anything. They never accused me. So
I think there was no cameras there.
I just walked in the next door and acted like I didn't know what was going on.
That's upsetting.
Yeah.
I mean,
it was upsetting. It was really upsetting.
What won't this man do for crack?
He'd call at work, and I shared a phone with a couple of other women, and he would leave these like drunk messages for me on our phone, and they would get these messages sometimes if they were there before me.
I still remember.
Like one of the messages, he called and he said, "I love your hiney."
Oh my god. You're like, just disregard that.
And Diane heard the message because she got it before me. I'm like, oh my god, this is so embarrassing.
Why would he do that?
I mean, at least it wasn't something mean, but
yeah, he. One thing I will give Leanne was he was very loving, despite all that stuff. He never strayed. His eye never strayed.
I have to say,
the crack is what did it.
I have to say, even though he was doing crack and all that other stuff, I don't think he ever cheated on me.
And he was a good-looking man. I used to think he looked like John Stamos. He loved that when I said that. Well, anyway,
there was another bar, and people would come up and they'd say to me, "Yeah, he always whipped out the pictures of his kids and you."
Well, he showed you the picture of Tony,
when I first met him, the first thing he did was whip out a picture of his son, who he had custody of at the time. He was living with his parents, and he had custody of him, and he showed me a picture of his son. I thought, wow, because I didn't want to tell people I had kids right off the bat at the bar because I didn't want to scare them away right away. Right away, this guy likes kids.
Yeah, he did like kids. He was really good to me.
And that's one of the reasons I had so many kids, because we were trying to go to church a lot, so we were really religious, and that was to try to keep him away from the drug people. And he loved kids, whereas your dad did not like kids, didn't want to have kids, treated me mean if I got pregnant, threatened to leave me if I had children.
Tried to make her get abortion after abortion.
Whereas Leon treated me like a queen. He would paint my toenails and fluff my pillow, and like he would do all this stuff for me.
No man's ever done that for me.
But do you blame me? I was so happy. I finally found somebody that treated me well and wanted to have kids.
No, I don't blame you.
And also, we were married. We were in love. Why not have kids?
Yeah.
He loved kids.
And you were young.
And babies was easy for me. It wasn't hard for me.
Yeah.
I was still breastfeeding Lucas. I didn't think I could get pregnant that fast.
Yeah, you guys didn't waste any time, did ya? 1 year later, and I remember thinking,
Liam was crazy about me.
Again? And it was another stinky boy.
I mean, I was married to someone that was so totally the opposite of that.
No, because I've had a boyfriend that I think would have been amazing to have children with, but I was too old.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if he wanted them, I would have done the same thing because he was amazing.
Yeah.
Plus, it endeared you to him. For some reason, men are very endeared to the mother of their children. I've discovered.
I mean, I had no idea Liam was going to become a crack addict and kill himself.
No.
I mean, I didn't know that was
No, you never would have. No. In fact, when you told us about it, I was like surreal. I didn't want to tell anybody
about it. If I had known that, I wouldn't have done it. I would have said, no, I'm not having all these kids and be left alone with all these kids. I mean, I didn't know that was.
She didn't like kids. See, I like having kid parties, and I like keeping, and I think that has a lot to do with when I was a kid. I didn't have that, so it's like very important to me, and also to be a good aunt. Because my aunts were so good to me, so I always make a big deal about my nieces and nephews.
I think it's our cold Northern European blood that it's just real hard to show affection. It's not that I don't love my kids. I love them so much, but it's always been hard for me to show it.
Like my kids used to want to like lay on me like all the time,
and
I'd be like,
get off
me. I love you, but get off me.
That's what I mean. It's like some moms are
helicopter moms.
Yeah, some moms are different, and we just aren't. You know,
like real nurturing.
I was saying it's a genetic thing, and somebody was saying, no, it's an environmental. I go, no, because my mom was kind of that way too, even though she was a great mom.
I thought it was because of my dad, but Marcy was saying something to me.
No, I think it's
she said it's like that on their side. That's just like how we are.
And there's nothing wrong with that. People are different.
Yeah, I'm not mean to my kids. I'm not mean to them. In fact, I'm a very fun mom. I'm like always. I just tell them everything.
Some people have a more childlike love to have fun.
Yeah, that's me.
And they just. But some people are more achievement oriented and hard workers. Some people are more intellectual. I mean, people are just different, you know. And so I've always been very achievement oriented. Like I've always been really focused on, okay, I got to go to work, then I go home, and I gotta cook dinner, and then I gotta do dishes, and then I gotta give the kids their baths, and then I gotta lay off their clothes for the next day. And
see, that sounds like awful to me.
Yeah, but I like achieving things, and that's why I love school.
I never realized how much I liked achievement until I went to college, because I was a waitress and I had so many more skills than that. But waitressing was just what I did for 12 years. But once I realized because I was doing websites and kind of like graphic design stuff on the side for literally no money, and I was like, I should just go to school for this so I can actually make some money. And then once I started doing that, so I always believe that you should go to college as an adult, not straight out of high school, because you're not ready. You don't even know what you want to do. I'm glad I waited until I was like 25 to go to school, because I was amazing at it. I didn't want to go hang out with my boyfriend.
This is why I never can understand lazy people, or people whose houses are a mess, which I'm not going to name any names.
My house is clean.
No, I don't mean you. I've never been able to understand that, because I feel so much accomplishment and so satisfied that I've achieved all these things.
And it's almost depressing to come home to a dirty house.
Yeah. And the achievement can be schoolwork. It can be housework. It can be
just getting your to-do stuff,
a project
checked off.
Yeah, a project that I'm working on.
I always feel good when I can check off a list.
Exactly. And that's how I am. I'm very achievement oriented. And I was that way ever since I was a little kid.
I'm not. Do you know I have no drive? I have no drive for personal goals anyway. I have all this stuff I need to take care of and do for years. I'm not even going to mention it, but I just never do it until I have to do it. Like, okay, if you don't do this, you're gonna, go to jail. Then I'm like, okay.
Because it's something you don't want to do, probably.
It's just everything to do with myself. All right, so all that. So we don't have to talk about the funeral or any of that, but I did want to talk about, after Leon was gone, some of that median and paranormal activity we experienced, because nobody remembers it except for me.
I remember the doorbell ringing, and we didn't even have
I forgot about that.
And we didn't even have a button. There was no button. It wasn't wired.
It would just ring at late.
It was on the
late
wall.
At night. It was never during the day.
Yeah, and that's the same room.
I'd be like, all right, I'm going to bed.
That was in the living room, and I'd be sitting there at the computer late at night, and we'd hear this doorbell dinging, and we'd be like, there's not even a button. Like, how is that ringing?
That was so. There were
and
so
also
many
things would come on and off. Like the computer would come on by itself, go off by itself.
The TV too.
The TV would come on or go off by itself, and also the box fan.
That one light, the behind the couch. I think Cody mentioned it.
I don't remember that.
It used to flicker all the time, but those were.
We also had a box fan that would turn itself, and it wasn't just turning on or off. It was both. They would do both things.
That's the only place we've ever lived besides the greenhouse before all of this, but that had any paranormal activity like that, and it was only after Leanne died.
Yeah.
Do you remember when we were going to go? I was kind of against her doing the median thing, but I didn't really understand it. So she had me sit in with her one time, because she would do it online in a chat atmosphere, which is interesting. I'd like to find
it. Was for grieving people. They did them for free, and you would have to get in there early and sign up. And
okay.
So I would watch it like for weeks before I actually got to do it.
Yeah, so you were like into it, and you wanted me to sit with you. Because you can watch and
do it with other people.
Yeah, and you wanted me to sit with you and do it. So we were like in your room talking right before. You were like, you logged in, and we were just waiting for your turn or whatever. Yeah. We were like talking in her bedroom, which was right on the other side of the computer, where the computer was. And you said something, and then the light just blew out. It's not like we flipped the switch or anything. It just blew out.
Yeah.
And then
we exploded.
We're like, what the fuck was that? But it was happening a lot.
That fixture was really hard to replace the light bulb. Because it hung on chains, and you had to it was hard.
So you're like, damn it. And then, we had to go get in the chat. So we went and got in the chat, and that lady was like, did a light just go out in your house? And we both looked at each other like.
I forgot about that.
And she was like, he wants you to know that was him. I was like, oh my God, I believe.
And I don't know if this was the one that you were sitting in on, but there was one who knew his name started with L. She knew that he drove a blue truck.
Yeah.
She said she could hear Take Me Out to the Ball Game, which
he was a coach of the.
We were both very involved with baseball with the boys.
There was something wrong with Grandma's car. They said that there was something wrong with the car. He wanted you to know there was something wrong with.
She knew the way he died had to do with his throat.
Yeah, so she was making contact. I think Leon lingered for
There's
a bit.
no way no way someone that doesn't know me online could have made up that.
Yeah, there's not like, yeah, we didn't even know who these people, they just, and did they ask you, they
didn't even know my name.
They'd ask you very basic questions just to get an idea of,
yeah.
But nothing like, I mean, how would they know that the light in the room just blew out like literally 5 minutes before we got into the chat?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what made me believe. I was like, oh my God.
Oh, and she also told me that there was something going on with our son.
Yeah.
Which I thought at the time she was maybe talking about Tony. But then it ended up being Travis.
Yes.
That was another thing that was really, really creepy and accurate that she would say that. And another thing, she said that Leon said that I should spend a lot of time outdoors because it would make me feel better. He knew me really well. I'm the same way now. I love being outdoors, which I hate this time of year because I'm cooped up.
He said he regretted it too. Do you know, I told Abby this in her sibling session, but I remember having right after his death, because it was kind of hard for me too. I mean, not like as much for you, obviously, and the grief and all that, but it was like just the whole, like, everything that was happening with everything. I mean, this was after Travis left. And I came to stay there, and I was just difficulty. I was sad. It was just a sad atmosphere, and I don't like that feeling. Mm-hmm. And I remember having this dream, and it was so real, so realistic, but it was his funeral. It was like the dream was his funeral, and he sits up in the coffin. He's like, "I'm fine. I'm just kidding." And he was a jokester, so it seemed like so real. And I remember him getting up and coming directly to me and just saying, "Everything's going to be just fine, Amy," and giving me this like very warm and very comforting hug. And then I woke up. And it was like he was trying to tell me that everything was going to be fine and like comforting me. And I thought that was so cool because that's never happened. That's never happened with any other person that's died.
No.
Ever. But I feel like he knew I was struggling. So he like just gave me that comfort.
And I had one dream like that too. It was 2 weeks exactly after he died on a Saturday.
Yeah, it was a couple weeks.
It was 2 weeks exactly to the day after he died.
It was more than 2 weeks for me because
for me it was 2 weeks. And I never saw him in the dream. But in the dream he came up behind me. And he put his arms, and I was real sad, and he put his arms around me, and I looked down and I saw his hands and his arms holding me like this.
And it felt real.
And then he kind of and then I kind of leaned my head over onto his shoulder, and he kind of leaned his on mine, and he just kind of held me like that.
It makes me sad.
And yeah, it makes me sad.
I know.
And I don't think he even said anything. I think he just was
knew.
Comforting me.
I think he did do that. I think he lingered because with how I feel about suicide. I remember Grandma said this, and she really upset you when she said this, but like most religious people believe like if you commit suicide you go to hell or whatever.
No, not true.
And I don't really believe that. I think that there is sort of a purgatory if you do that because you're taking your life, which you're not supposed to do. And you're kind of stuck.
Your soul has to be cleansed.
Right, you're kind of stuck. So like, whereas if you hadn't done that, maybe the light would come down and or however it happens and you would go straight up. But I don't think the light comes when you do so when you're kind of stuck on earth and you kind of have to figure out how to get there yourself. I think he did finally move on. But he lingered for a long time. And I think he watched us for a little bit to see how we dealt with it because we were having a lot of trouble. And those two things that happened in those dreams, I think was him just comforting the adults and, that were, trying to pick up the pieces.
I was hurting so bad. And I did go, he died July 22nd, and I went every day on my lunch. I got permission. I got permission to take a longer lunch. And because in the summer we only got half an hour.
You would go after work too, and sometimes forget to get the kids. Do you remember that?
No, but I would go every day on my lunch, and I think I might have eaten there one time. I didn't eat at the graveside all the time. I'd go and talk to him about the kids.
I know.
And I'd tell him all this stuff. I talked to him when I was at home, but I felt closer to him there. So I would go there and I would sit there and I would just talk to him about stuff that was going on with the kids and stuff. And I would do that every day. I don't know if I did on the weekend. I can't remember.
You would go light that candle all the time.
And the candle, I think it lasted like 5 days, so I would like constantly be
constantly.
I
like the first
whole box of vigil
probably
candles.
Every couple days until you met Keith.
Yeah.
I mean, she did it for.
I'll tell you when I stopped going every day. I stopped going every day when the snow got so deep I couldn't get to his grave anymore. I've had a lot of heartache in my life. Yeah, I mean, divorce is bad enough, and then 2 husbands dying is.
And one cheating on you and having your kids taken from you. No,
but like you said, when your life is hard, it means that you were
meant to have a hard life. You've read Embraced by the Light, which I love that book.
Life is hard. It's supposed to be hard.
I read it when I was young, 17 or 18. It was right after Leon died, and you suggested it to me, and I read it, and it changed my life.
I have it again. I got it from my mom's house.
Oh my gosh,
like a few weeks ago, and I reread it.
Oh, let me borrow it. I'm going to read it.
It's in my house.
I haven't read that since I think I read it, and I gave it to Missy. when I was out in Arizona to read them, she never gave it back.
I
hope
had
you're
one
enjoying
too.
that.
I had one too, and I gave it to Diane and never got it back.
It's because it's a great book. But I love that book because it basically says, and I tried to explain this in episode 5, but I was all over the place. But
now there's a lot more books about that are really good too.
That's the one, though. That's the one
That's
the one because
Yeah.
it changed, and it's a great, like, the fact that I was so young and it changed and made me have that outlook when I was so young has helped me significantly through my life.
Yeah.
Because Lucas struggles with this stuff, and he'll I'll say, well, you need to change the way you think about things, and he's like, well, it's easier said than done.
So this life is just, it's like
chosen.
It's like a play.
Yeah.
It's like a stage. And
you get to
it's
choose.
It's not really reality. Our spiritual selves are reality. So we're here in order to grow our spirit. And we choose.
It's like leveling up.
We choose the difficulties that we have. What about these people that choose to be handicapped, or they choose to, really hard life, but they choose that.
And you have like spiritual friends too, which she talks about. So say my mom in the spiritual world might be my best friend.
Yeah.
Not my mother. My best friend. She's like, well, I'm going to come back as your mom.
Yeah.
And you choose this life. Like you're going to choose, and the harder your life is, the more you level up. So it's like if you're strong and it's just like when you take harder classes in school or you do things that challenge you, like take a harder job or whatever. All those are challenges because you want to succeed at something. Same thing with your life. So
you want to improve yourself.
Yeah. So you get to move, it's almost like Buddhism where they have the chakras where you can level up and get all the way. It's the same thing. Yeah. You don't want to go down. You want to go up. So it's like you pick this life. It's like you choose your own life, and then
and I think you can also choose whether you want to come back and live again, and if you fail at it. So especially for people that kill themselves, they failed at it, so they will definitely have to come back. But I think not everyone chooses to come back.
Right. So you have
most spirits
a super difficult life.
Themselves.
So Leon's life wasn't extremely difficult considering he was causing the difficultness on other people more than himself, but he took the easy way out. So he probably did have to come back and get that level up. But you know what? It's like a game over. It's like game over.
He didn't have a great childhood like I did. I was really lucky that I had a childhood like I did. And
because it makes you who you're going to be for the rest of your life.
And in the spirit world, you choose, like you said, you have friends in the spirit world. You might decide that you're going to be in each other's life.
Yeah, you want to be. You usually want to be, she was saying.
In some way, yeah.
And like everything happens for a reason. That's the truth. And like Leon doing what he did was maybe to help my mom grow. Like, what he was like, you know what I'm saying?
Something good always comes out of something bad, even if you can't see what it is.
Yeah. It can always be worse.
I've often thought about what would have happened if he would have just stayed being an addict, because most addicts don't overcome it. And
if he would have left him.
What if he would have just stayed the way he was and got worse and worse?
He would have spiraled.
Would he have got shot and killed?
You grow from that. So that's all part of the life.
Like looking back with Leon, I kind of wish I would have left him sooner. But on the other hand, like you said, the hard times are helpful to you later on.
Yeah.
You learn from that. And also, you don't know what would have happened if you had done that.
Right. He could have ended up the same way.
Yeah. And the reason
we love our mother.
I used to get upset about that and think, oh, well, I would never say that about my mother. I'd never make fun of her. But then I think, but I am a lot like my mom. But I'm a totally different generation, and we have a different kind of relationship.
She is a mom. Yeah, our mom. We love our mom.
And we've always goofed around a lot and everything, and I have a much closer relationship, I think. Yeah. I was close with my mom, but not in the same way.
Right.
So it's just different, and so I just...
We joke. We joke.
Yeah.
Like, I love my mom, and there's obviously, I think I made that clear in the first couple episodes that my mom was my person of choice. I kept trying to live with her for, like, my entire life, and we were close, but we make jokes because my mom's kind of all over the place sometimes, she cracks us up. She makes us laugh. Like, when we were reliving, like, even, like, abusive moments when she was doorknob Hannah or whatever, but we still, it's funny because she's not like that. My mom has never, my mom smacked me one time.
Yeah.
Besides when she pummeled me in the back of the head.
I didn't spank very much.
She smacked me one time for talking back in the car. Do you remember
that? Your dad used to be the one that smacked you.
Yeah. He never smacked me, but he spanked me.
Yeah.
My mom never spanked me. Like with the fly swatter thing one time, and I wasn't even playing with the dead cat. I just want to make that clear.
I backhanded you one time. You were getting
backhanded me one time. That's what I was going to say. In the car on the way, taking me home from to my dad's.
Smart,
I was just being a little bitch because that's what I did when I was a teenager. And my mom was like, "Spit!" And she dropped me off at my dad's, and I was depressed. That's the only time I've ever been like that depressed, besides maybe when
I felt
my
kind of bad
ex-boyfriend.
after I did that, actually.
I was depressed because I didn't get to see her for another 2 weeks, and I had to go back to like hell. And the only person that was like loved me and cared about me just smacked me in my face for the first time ever. I was like 12, and I just I remember it was in the summer, and I just laid on the couch and cried for like 2 weeks straight.
Sometimes that's what you need.
And I was so sad, and my dad was mad at me because I was depressed. Why are you so sad? I'm like, because my mom hit me. But it was fine after I got to see you. Like, then 2 weeks, then you were like all sorry, and I was like, I'm never going to talk back to my mom again.
Because I didn't think about it. It was kind of like just a reaction, which you shouldn't hit.
I was shocked because my mom had never hit me before, and I was just like, my mom is not abusive. So it's funny that she abused him. Hey, she didn't do it on purpose. I tried to defend you.
I didn't do it on purpose, but I was going through a lot at the time.
I know it's funny. My mom's funny. We think it's funny. She probably doesn't think it's funny, but when she gets mad, it's funny to me. Because
no, I know I've made a lot of mistakes.
I have too. My kids. Do you know my kids? I want to do. My kids used to do this. They don't do it as much now, but they used to be like, "Tell me more stories about your childhood." They would get excited about stories that were like my pain and suffering.
Your pain and suffering.
They thought it was funny. Yes. She was funny too. Do you know? Here's a story.
I like her.
Here's a story. I know she is. Here's a story about you're a little bit different, but Grandma was more like she didn't cuss or anything, but
I cuss.
I remember when
cuss.
I do too. I remember when we were playing Monopoly with her and Grandpa, and Grandpa was winning. And Grandma just looks at him and goes, "You fathead." And it was like cussing. We're like, "Oh my God, Grandma just called Grandpa fathead." Yeah. And Grandpa never said nothing back.
That's not a cuss word, so she said that.
Yeah, I know, but...
Or knucklehead.
It wasn't a cuss word, but it was just funny.
Yeah.
And my grandma was never mean. So, like, her calling... We were, like, looking at Grandpa, and we're like, oh my God, what's going to happen here? Grandpa would just be like... He would say nothing. And she told me he had hairy toes one time and he cleared his throat. We always knew when Grandpa cleared his throat, he was not happy.
It's hard for you guys to imagine because he was always really calm,
calm
when he was older. But when we were kids, he would lose his temper sometimes.
I can't even imagine Grandpa losing his temper.
My dad, he had a real slow temper, though. It would take a lot.
He had a long fuse.
And it usually has something to do with us saying something to our mom that would make him the maddest. And he would...
Shake you.
I
remember you telling us about that.
When I was little, he used to shake me like that, and I remember my mom saying, "Stop! You're gonna jiggle her brains." So I tell him to stop shaking me. I don't know why he was even shaking me. I just remember going, "Oh."
You were probably being dramatic because that's what my mom does. But let's talk a little bit about the South Side. So Leon's gone, and
that was hell. I hated it there. Hated it.
Everybody says that.
It was like hell.
I had a good time.
It was like living in hell.
Do you remember when I got my tongue pierced and I was trying to hide it from you? I didn't talk about that. But
yeah, and you took too much ibuprofen, so then you got sick, and I had to take you to the
I couldn't walk.
Immediate care because
I
you
got this
OD'd
pain
on ibuprofen.
Yeah, because none of my parents told me that you could do that. I thought ibuprofen was safe. You could take as much as you wanted, but I was hiding it.
Instructions on the
I was 17, and I wasn't. My mom was like, I tried to hide stuff from my mom all the time. I don't know what, like pot.
I knew you had a tongue piercing.
You didn't know. You didn't know until we went. I hid it from you, but I was in all this pain because I had like some fly-by-night guy do it for me, and his name was Harry Butt.
It was?
Yeah, and I was in so much pain I couldn't eat. Like, it was just like terrible, and like, so I was just taking all this ibuprofen, and I ended up I got this like real bad cramp in my side, and I remember laying on the bathroom floor like, I can't walk. But I just wondered if you remember that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember. I took you to urgent care, and
there's another situation where I had a seizure, and I had to get a CAT scan.
Yeah, I remember taking you to the hospital for the CAT scan.
Yeah, they're triggered by, and then when
that was from drugs, probably.
That was from cortisone, which I'm going to talk about in the part 2 of episode 5.
Oh.
Yeah, it was like this cold and cough medicine, which is illegal now. You can't get it. It's like behind the counter. Like, they use it to make meth now.
Oh yeah, okay.
Sudafed is, but it wasn't Sudafed. It was called cortisone.
So was it meth?
And we stole it. No, it was just cold medicine.
Oh.
It was cold medicine, and you had to take like 8 of them.
Ooh.
Yeah, so we'd take like 8 of them.
You took 8 of them?
Yep.
No wonder you had a seizure.
Well, it was from the strobe light that I had the seizure, but I mean, the drugs didn't help.
Yeah.
Up until the point that I had it. I remember nothing while it was occurring, and then I remember waking up and everybody staring at me like, "Oh my God!"
How did I find out about it? I didn't find out until after the fact.
Because everybody was scared, because I had friends and stuff upstairs.
I don't think I was home.
You were home. Yeah. Apparently, they were asking me all these questions, and I was acting like a child, and I was like laughing, and they'd be like, they were asking me all these questions like, what's your name? What town are you from? And they'd be like, do you know who he is? And I was like, he's my boyfriend. And like just acting really bizarre. I don't remember any of it. And they were really worried and they didn't want to tell you because we were doing stuff we weren't supposed to do.
So they took you to the emergency room?
You did. You took me.
I remember taking you for the CAT scan, but I don't remember taking you. So I took you.
No, maybe you didn't take. Nobody took me. I don't know what happened.
I took you at some
Somebody
point.
carried me to the car, but I think that was for my tongue ring thing. But they wanted to make sure I was okay, but I came back. Like it like lasted for like an hour, and they were like really concerned. They didn't know what to do, and then I came back, and I remember like coming back to reality. I felt like I was losing my mind.
I don't think they told me till after the fact.
It was after. Yeah. We probably came down and told
because
me.
if they would have told me during, I would have taken.
I was foaming at the mouth, and they said I was like totally rigid and stiff, and like I don't.
That's how Heather was when she had the fever convulsion when she was little. Real rigid and stiff and foaming at the mouth.
Yeah, I don't remember any of that. And then when I came back to, like they were in a circle around me, Lucas and like my friends, and they were all just like,
I can't believe they're all just sitting there looking at you, not even telling me this is happening.
They're asking me questions and stuff, and like they thought I lost my mind, which I did for a short period of time. It came back. I don't know, but I'm okay.
They did this MRI or whatever they did of your brain just to make sure there was nothing wrong in there.
That I didn't have epilepsy or something.
And they couldn't find anything wrong, so.
It was just the combination of doing drugs and a strobe light.
I remember you telling them about the strobe light.
Because that's what caused it.
That's why they have warnings on shows like that.
Yeah. Well, later when I got pulled over by a cop, their lights were kind of like strobe lights, and I asked them to turn them off because it was like, I thought I was going to have a seizure. It was not long after that. That's when I got pulled over for driving without a license. You remember that?
You asked them to turn their lights off, and they did it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I thought I was going to have a seizure. It was right after I had my
I didn't
seizure.
know you could do that. Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, back to the South Side. Let's wrap this up. So I know you hated the South Side. Do you remember Joe Brown?
Yeah, that little jerk.
He's dead, Mom.
No, I know.
You were nice to dirty. I made a point about talking about this. You were nice to Dirty Kevin, the neighborhood crackhead, but not to Joe Brown.
I did not like Dirty Kevin.
You let him use the phone.
Yeah, because he came in and asked you to use the phone.
Hannah said you made him a sandwich or something.
No, I never made him a sandwich.
I didn't think so.
But then he sat there. You know, the phone was at my desk, and he sat there at my desk.
He was waiting for his crackhead.
He was talking for a long time on the phone, and I kept thinking, get out of here, or him, get out.
I know you were too nice.
Yeah, I was too nice, and he was dirty.
And he was a bum. Yeah. He was a crackhead.
He was a bum.
That was Chris's uncle.
Yeah, he was a bum.
His dad had a crush on you.
Yeah, I know. You told me that?
He came to the house. He's like, your mom. I'm like, dude, she would never date you.
Oh, yeah, I want to get with him. No.
Sorry, Steve.
I didn't feel like dating for 2.5 years.
That's how I feel now. My ex didn't die, but it feels like he died. I don't feel like I don't ever want to date again.
I'm saying dating is just too much trouble.
It is. Trust me, I was like, all right, I'm going to start dating. No, I can't.
Just think how you'd feel.
I get all grossed out.
Think how you'd feel if two of your husbands died and you're 65 years old and now you have to go worry about putting on makeup and wearing nice clothes and impressing some old man.
I like to have somebody love me.
I don't want to impress some old man.
I'm not codependent, but I like to be loved. I want to be loved. This is something I've been searching for my entire life because like my dad fucked me all up and I just have always needed somebody to love me. I'm just so sick of living like this. Like, I need Tony back.
You gotta cut that out.
I love him, though. I love him. It sucks. I'm gonna talk all about that.
Well, I want Keith. Well, obviously not perfect.
No, now I've seen like that. I'm like, why don't I fall out of love with him and how mean he is to me? For no reason.
You liked him for a long time before you even dated him.
I thought we were gonna be together forever.
You had a huge crush on him for a long time.
I know, and then it was like perfect.
I wish I'd have a crush on somebody.
I know it felt cool to kind of have a crush on him. I know I don't like anybody either. Yeah.
I should probably go.
All right. Well, we're gonna look at the camera. All right, we're gonna wrap it up. My mom didn't really want to talk too much about the South Side, which is just fine because I'm gonna still do episode 2. But
you guys have done a lot of talking about that.
Well, the seizure was on the South Side, and the tongue ring and all that, and we have. But it was a big.
It's just a lot of bad memories.
It's a lot of bad stuff.
And also,
but
I was a zombie most of the time.
Yeah, I know, but I kind of like showing how it was after the death. That's what happens.
I was still a zombie
it got better. It gets better. Yeah. So that's when I moved out.
This is all your crazy stuff.
I know. This is my crazy time.
I didn't really do any crazy stuff. I mean, other than talking to me.
No, I don't. I just wanted to talk about memories of me doing crazy stuff. Or Lucas when he peed on the floor. Remember that?
Oh, that was crazy. I'm sitting there in the dark at night on my computer, and I hear like water in my living room, and I'm thinking,
Lucas was laying on the
what's
couch.
that? And I turn around, and he's standing in the middle of the living room floor, peeing on the
Yeah,
on the
you
carpet.
can't fly out because I was out in the
Just
backyard.
peeing on the carpet.
With my friends.
And I said, what are you doing?
You're like, Amy! Amy! You're like yelling out the back door because I
Lucas is peeing on
sitting
the
at
rock.
the picnic table with my friends. I'm like, what? You know? You're like, Lucas
He was
is peeing on the floor.
So he was so drunk that he got up from the couch
12.
and just started peeing on the floor, right in front of me. Well, right behind me. In the same room as me, like right behind me. I could hear it hitting the floor, and I thought, what on earth? I probably scared him to death when I started yelling at him.
You were what? Yeah, you scared me because you came out like scream. I was like, oh, Hannah pooped in the backpack.
No, he was peeing right in front of me on the floor.
Hannah's like, you got caught though one time. I was like, I don't think I ever got caught. And it was difficult stealing your keys because Coney slept with you.
Never got caught.
And I would like slither on the floor.
But Lucas stole $10 out of my purse once. And he just denied it up and down and had me search everywhere, even between his butt cheeks.
Where was it?
He mooned me, It was like, he had it hid up underneath his armpit.
Lucas. We're terrible people.
My own son stole money, and then...
The South Side, we were pretty terrible people.
Yeah. I wasn't a terrible
Me and Lucas were, but that's because we had no rules and no boundaries. But we're going to wrap this up, and I'll see you for the next episode, which will be, by the time this one airs, the next episode will be episode 6, which is when we leave the South Side. So,
yeah.
Horizons.
I remember Maggie, my boss, telling me I should hire a security guard to stand at the door.
Everybody knew it was a party.
I mean, back then they didn't have Ring doorbells and cameras and all that stuff.
But Mom, we used to party upstairs. She just never came up there.
Why didn't we have people climbing up the antenna?
Knocking at my window, that's how they got in.
You made you made them all worse. You made them really bad. Do bad stuff.
Hey, I didn't make anybody. Those are all Lucas's friends. Lucas is the bad influence.
And
those were my friends.
I was really lost in my own pain.
They became my friends because I didn't know anybody there. Those are all Lucas's friends. This is Lucas's influence.
I had to work all day, every day.
Mom, why would you blame me for that? That's Lucas.
Hannah had to walk home from school.
Yeah, I know.
And you were there, so somebody was there when she came home.
I was there, but like I was just a teenager too, and Lucas. Those are all his friends that he brought.
I mean, that was only like a short time until.
And they were all older than him.
And I always came home right after work.
Hey, we never would have met Tyler if it wasn't for the South Side.
Oh, that's true.
Tyler's one of my best.
He was
friends.
13 when I met him. I remember him saying he was 13.
Yep, because
I remember him saying, "And I'm gay." I said, "How do you know?"
Wait. He always denied.
No, he told me that when I met him.
He couldn't have been 13. He had to have been 15.
He said 13 and I'm gay. And I said, well, how do you know? You're only 13.
He's only 2 years younger than me. He was 15 when I was 17. So he must have been 15. He wasn't 13. Trust me.
He was 13.
He's only 2 years younger than me. That's why we were...
Oh, yeah, you're right. He was older than Lucas. And he called me Mom.
Yeah, he did.
And he's called me Mom
He still
ever
calls her
since.
Mom.
He's called me Mom ever since.
Tyler was the good one. Hey, my friend, Tyler, Tessa, good people. Josh was even a good guy. Joe was a good guy too. I don't know why you were so mean to him because he used to put your wet laundry on top of your laundry.
Because he put on my dresses and stuff.
No, that was Shane.
Oh.
Joe didn't do that.
He climbed on the ceiling. He did bad stuff. And what was I supposed to do? I mean,
I remember one time. Oh, here's a good story. I remember one time she surprised me. Usually she would call me or tell me if she was coming home early. And you didn't. You got Hannah. Hannah was sick or something. You had to go pick her up from school, and you didn't tell me. And we were sitting at the table smoking weed. You remember that? I was passing it to like Joe right when you walked in. You're like, what the? And Lucas was running around the table high, and he ran upstairs, like because the doorway was right there to the bathroom. And then he'd go upstairs. Ran upstairs and got on in bed. I said, Lucas was doing it too, and you're like, no, he's in bed. Yeah, he. Do you remember that? You were so upset at me. You were like, you kept so mad at me about the weed, but everything else was fine.
It's probably another reason I don't like Joe.
Mom, why? Because he smoked weed? I smoked weed long before that.
He disrespected my house.
Well, I gave him permission to.
Sorry he died anyway.
He got murdered. I'll talk about that later. All right, bye.
Bye.